As we get deeper into the holiday season and closer to Black Friday, a lot of people are looking at electronics and notably TVs. That's why for today's Gadget Corner, we're going to look at the different types of TVs and which one is better for what. And for that, we brought along Emmett Pritchett, who is somewhat of a TV expert. Emmett, my first question is, we've got plasma TVs, LCD TVs, LED TVs, and of course 3D TVs. What's the difference between all of those?
Typically, first off, just to clarify something, LED television is still an LCD television. The difference is the backlighting system. Any LCD product has got to be backlit to be seen. Typically, LCD televisions use fluorescent lamps. They're tiny little fluorescent lamps that are inside the panel. It's not something you can change. The problem with that is you can't completely turn them off, so the blacks are not black as black. It's an age-old question: is plasma better than LCD or LED? It's still going on out there. LED is a very good-looking set. It's much more energy efficient. It's smaller, lighter. The downsides of plasma are they're heavier, they operate a little hotter, and they do have an issue called screen burn. But that's something that's really not an issue anymore. The manufacturers have done things to minimize that.
Okay, and when it comes to these TVs, they say size matters. Does it?
Well, it depends on whether you ask a man or a woman, typically. Men always think the bigger the better. Women not so much so. But, I mean, you really want to pick the size television for the size of your room. You know, a 50-inch television, you should be about 8 to 10 feet away from it at the closest point. So if your room's not big enough to get any further than that, then you really don't necessarily need to go that big.
Now, another question is, when people are buying TVs, I think it's important to note that you're not just buying the unit. There's other costs involved.
No, it depends on where you're going to mount it, whether you're going to wall mount it, or does it come with a stand and you're just going to put it on a table. Pretty much anything you buy today needs to sit on a table of at least 3.5 to 4 feet high, or be wall mounted higher than that.
All right, Emmett, here we are with the 3D TVs. I think a lot of us have been to movies where we've worn the 3D glasses. How does that compare to the TVs that you're going to have in your house?
Well, basically the 3D televisions can come in either form: plasma, LED, LCD, or rear projection.
And I think a lot of people have been told when it comes to 3D, you have to be standing at the right angle to see it. Is that true?
Well, there is an angle error there, that the further you get away from center, the less dimension that you see there. I recommend you go in the store and just view them side by side and see what you actually like the way it looks. Because each person sees colors differently, sees things differently. So that's something you need to do.
All right. Well, that's a good answer. And we